Hey, what's up guys, I'm Zabulus. Welcome to this build video for the Magicka Sorc, and this is pretty special because this MagSorc Stonethorn build doesn't use shields. That's right, a no shields MagSorc. I'm pretty excited to show you guys this build. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it before, so yeah, few disclaimers. My gear is not quite optimized. I will take you through what traits you want, but yeah, I'm pretty close to it anyway. And also I will give you some options to replace some of the sets that we're using in case they get nerfed. So yeah, let's get into the stats first. Okay, so I'm personally a high elf. I think this works just perfectly with this build, but you could experiment on that. Okay, game. Anyway, so the attributes are pretty special. I wanted to build a lot of health, so I put 36 in health and 28 in Magicka. The damage is fine. We don't need huge Magicka to get big shields because we're not using shields, so you know, I advise just going with this. Basically, the health is really nice for surviving. Anyway, so those are the stats, the max stats. Stamina is pretty nice. The Magicka recovery looks low right now, but it's actually very high, and I'm pretty much over-sustaining in every fight, so it's really nice. Health regen is going to be a huge part of our survivability, so unbuffed we have this 1.3k, almost 1.4k, so that's really nice. The stam regen looks low as well, but it's about 1k, actually 1.2k fully buffed, so really nice. The spell damage, pretty low, but not so low, like, it's okay, it's fine, in my opinion. And the spell critical is 38%. We want this high because, you know, we want our crit surge to heal us a lot. This doesn't matter here. Resistances, let me just buff that real quick. There they are, we're in heavy armor, so they're pretty nice actually. And the crit resist 2.2k, I don't really advise going for anything higher than this these days because people are running Malakath, so yeah, it doesn't matter too much in my opinion. Boon is the Thief to get as much crit as possible. Especially in heavy armor, it's hard to build for crit, so this boon is really nice. And the food is gold dry food because we want the max stats and the health recovery. That's really nice. I'm gonna go into the skills next. So, a couple of different options you got there, but you want to keep the main structure. So definitely you want streak, mobility, and CC. It's just so good. Has to be on there. Crushing shock is gonna be your spammable. I believe you could go, if you don't use a poison, you could go for the Sigic Order spammable. I don't have it because, you know, I just prefer using Crushing Shock. It's up to you, but, you know, I think Crushing Shock is overall more useful. Then Structured Entropy. This is a nice dot to put pressure on your opponent and a nice hot as well to heal yourself, so definitely a good skill, I really like it. We have Inner Light for, you know, the crit. That's the main reason why it's there, to buff our crit. And the Max Magicka is nice to give you a little bit more damage. Now Bound Aegis is there to give us more Max Magicka, so again increasing my overall damage a little bit more. And then I have Greater Storm Atronach. This is a really nice ult. You can line of sight behind it, you can just hide behind it. You can AoE stun with it. It puts a lot of pressure on your opponents. 1vx and 1v1 is just really good ult. Now on the back bar, we got Crit Surge. This is going to be your major sorcery buff, and it's gonna be a huge hot. 3.3k every 1 second because we are pretty much guaranteeing our crits because of the dots we have and our high crit chance. So that's a huge hot. This is crucial to this build and the way it survives. Now we got Rapid Regen because, well, this is kind of overpowered as a heal. I mean, it's like a Magicka Vigor basically. Heals a lot, even though I don't have a proper trait on my stuff and it's not gold. This still heals me for a lot, so I love it. Siphon Spirit, so you could run Elemental Drain, but you know the penetration is nice. It just feels a little bit of a waste because we can just run we run Siphon Spirit on the back bar and it already gives us minor Magicka still. So I guess it's up to you, but I advise going this way. This is going to apply minor Magicka Steal for your sustain and minor lifesteal as another hut on top of everything else that you have, so it's nice for your survivability and sustain. Boundless Storm, of course, is going to be a resistance buff. You definitely want this. It's so good for the AoE dot, the resistances, and the speed it gives you. It's just so good. Of course, we got Dark Conversion, pretty mandatory skill on MagSorc. And I got the Restore just in case I'm in trouble. Okay, let's get into the pots. Well, pots are pretty simple. It's dry pots. You definitely just want to use dry pots. And occasionally in this pot, if you're running from a Zerg or a detect pot against Nightblades, but most of the time you're just going to be using the tripod. Is so good. Okay, let's get into the gear now. So we have more of the Infernal. My traits are not optimized on this. Ideally you want all of your body traits to be divines, but anyway, we got more of the Infernal. I got a medium piece and a heavy piece. This is going to be so much pressure on your opponent. Let me show the proper tooltips on my front bar. 5.3k every 2 seconds. It's like, it's a Magicka more cooled-in. It's a Magicka Venomous Smite with 100% uptime. It's so good. And if you're scared that this pet will not hit the proper target, let me show you how you control that. You go in your keybinds, and here, command pet. You set a key there. Mine is V. And basically when I aim at a target, I hold V, left click, and my pet is gonna target it. If I want my pet to go on passive mode, I hold V, right click, and my pet will just stand next to me and it won't fight anymore. That's how you control your pet. You can aim at someone, hold V, left click, and your pet will go hit them. So that's how we make this work. It's so much pressure on your kill target, it's just insanely good. Love it. Next is Orgnum Scale, so that's gonna be our survivability set pretty much. Health recovery, a lot of max health, and when you're under 60% health, which is also why we have such a big health pool, it's so that whenever we're under 60% we'll still have a lot of health. Well, this gives us a lot of health recovery and resistances, so makes us really tanky. It's really nice. I have I have 4 heavy on the body and a light sash. All are divines, well, all should be divines, but my pants are in pen, and for the enchants it's 5 max health on those pieces there on the body, and then I have 2 magicka on the shoulder and head. You could also go for full triglyphs. I just haven't done it because I'm kind of broke, but this works good as well, so yeah. And ideally, again, you want everything to be divines for more crit. Now, on our front bar we have the willpower set. You got a couple of options there. You could go for this stuff right there, infused with shock damage. It's pretty good, it puts pressure and it's nice, basically. And then we can also go for a Nernhound or sharpened Inferno Staff of Willpower with double dot poisons, because once Mo gets nerfed, you can go with that and run Scoria instead in the same slots. My enchants are not quite right on this, but whatever. Basically, I'm expecting Mo to get nerfed, so I think I will run Scoria instead, or Kajalnar with double dot poison to proc the Scoria a lot. But yeah, for now we're staying with this, and but you can still run the double dot poison setup. And as a last option, you can run a Calurian staff to get more crit. Charge with a shock glyph on there guarantees the minor vulnerability, so that's 8% more damage. So that's up to you if you want more crit, so your crit surge procs more often. Overall, I like this one better for now. And then our last set is going to be on the back bar. It's Icy Conjurer. The tooltip on there is 27k over 10 seconds. This has a 100% uptime now with the Stonethorn patch, sorry. And yeah, that's why we are running Siphon Spirit, because applying a minor debuff to your enemy will proc this. It's a huge dot, 27k over 10 seconds. It's like 2.7k per second. That's a huge dot, and you know, with 100% uptime. So the way this works is we have it on the jewelry. 3 arcane, mine is blue, don't mind this. But 3 arcane, I have 2 magicka recovery and 1 cost reduction. That way I can sustain pretty good. And on the back bar I have a resto staff. Mine is sharpened. Ideally you want it to be powered for the extra heals on the back bar, and you want it to be golden as well. I'm kind of broke again. The enchant on there, I like magicka still on the back bar. Helps you sustain a little bit more. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go into the CP and then I'll explain briefly how this plays, but yeah. 1 into Siphoner to prevent cleansing, 56 Warlord, reduce cost of break free, 19 Sprinter because we're gonna be sprinting a little bit. 56 into Arcanist for, improving our magicka regen, our sustain, but it's not that high anyway. Don't go for any more points in there. 64 in Healthy because our health regen buffs to a lot actually when we're fully buffed with a potion and Orgrim scale. It's about 2.8k, 2.9k, so we can buff it even further using this. Works really nice, improves our survivability a lot. Then we got 51 in Tumbling. We're gonna be roll dodging still, especially with this really nice stamp sustain we got on heavy armor. And 23 in Shadow Ward to reduce the cost of block. You're gonna be blocking sometimes, so yeah. I block leaps and stuff like that. Then on the blue tree, we got 56 into Elfborn for the crit. We're gonna be critting a lot, so it's just so much worth it to put those points. 56 into Elemental Expert, that's pretty basic. 58 in Spell Erosion for nice penetration. 66 in Master at Arms, 22%, it's nice. And then we got 34 in Thaumaturge because we actually have quite a few dots. So it's really worth it to increase those. Now we got 66 into Ironclad, it's pretty basic, 28 into Resistant, 46 Skinned, 43, 37, to get 120 points so that when you break free, after you got CC'd, you can pop a heal and then cast a free Dark Deal thanks to this perk that we unlock here. Works really nice, especially for your stamp sustain. And then we got 56 into Quick Recovery to improve our healing a lot. Okay, I think that's everything. Again, a couple options that you can have here. If you want to play more bursty, if you want some more burst damage, you can put Haunting Curse instead of Bound Aegis here. It's gonna give you a little bit more burst, but overall I kind of like the sustained pressure of Bound Aegis. It's up to you. Also, I will be making probably a version of this that one-shots with some procs and some different skills, so stay tuned for it. It's gonna be pretty nice. One-shotting as a tanky MagSorc without shields. How unique can you be? But anyway, the way this plays, you wanna keep certain buffs up. You wanna keep your Dark Conversion regen over 20 seconds up. You wanna keep your resistance buff up, your crit surge, and that's it. So on your target now, you want to keep Siphon Spirit, of course. It has a 24-second duration, so it's pretty easy to keep up. And you want to keep Structured Entropy up as a dot to pressure them. Now, also, you want to keep your Icy Conjurer That means that you're gonna go on your back bar every 10 seconds and recast Siphon Spirit to proc it, because it's such a huge dot, honestly. So good, so fucking good. This build has damage, definitely. And Mo is just gonna stay on your target all the time because it's just gonna proc when you light attack, so don't worry about it. Just remember to light attack. Okay, so that's it. Basically, you just do damage like that. You pop your stuff, your Icy Conjurer, and then you light attack Crushing Shock. There goes my Mo. And whenever you wanna do a huge offensive go on someone, you pop your Icy Conjurer, you stun them with the Atronac, and you just keep light attacking, Crushing Shock, and you stun them with a Streak. That's how this works. And it's really good, it's a lot of pressure on your opponent. I've killed some tanky ass Stam DK with this. Honestly, it's so good. And the survivability is great, like whenever you're in trouble, just go on your back bar, pop your Rapid Regen, streak through them, Dark Deal, you know. You can block a fair bit, dodge a fair bit, it's really good. And keep your pressure on them so their health goes low when they're going too much offensive on you. That works really great. And the sustain is just amazing, so yeah. Really good build, guys. I hope you give it a go, and you'll see it's really enjoyable, even open world. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll probably be making a one-shot version of this or some Nightblade builds, I don't know yet, but stay tuned. Peace.